A lot of talk since the ESPYs. Caitlyn Jenner. Rosenberg, you didn't see the actual ESPYs or her moment, but you did catch up on it.
Yeah, well, I watched the ESPYs for a couple hours, and they kept teasing it all night. I was like, all right, you know what? I got to watch more Bloodline. This is taking too long.
Yeah.
So then I went and rewatched it yesterday.
And this comes out today that, what is it, Laura? Caitlyn had to block her.
Well, actually, Instagram blocked the recent photos because people were putting up on Instagram just really, really horrible photos. And I think she blacked out her Instagram, too, because it was just overflooded with just negative comments.
And, you know, people on Instagram just want to say something mean, man. Or they just want to be just rude and mean and just espouse things that they would never say in public or to your face. It's so corny. But in the sports world, even, I guess, you know, there was a lot of backlash as well.
Well, yeah, a lot of people were angry because they felt like the ESPYs, which, by the way, I don't know why you're taking it like it's a serious award show. The ESPYs, to me, and I said this yesterday on ESPN, it's the same as the BET Awards. The awards themselves don't mean anything.
They're just a celebration of
entertainment. Yeah. It's just fun. It's entertainment. It's a night on. It's the only night of the year with no major sporting events going on, so they started doing it, and it's a big thing. So the idea that people are like, this is not serious enough. I mean, first of all, the one thing I learned from the Caitlyn Jenner speech, and all y'all out there, all of us can pretend like we really know about Bruce Jenner, but if you're under the age of 45, you don't really remember
and
it like
how
that.
Massive him being that athlete that broke world records in the Olympics. Just the whole thing.
People are out there being like, I mean, it's not like LeBron James decided. No, it's exactly like that. It is exactly like LeBron James decided to transition to being a woman just 30 years later.
Right.
So you can't get it twisted about how big. This is an era when the NBA was nothing. The NFL wasn't anything like it is now. Being an Olympian like that, an amazing Olympian, a decathlete, was the biggest athlete in the world. So I was very inspired by the whole thing. Honestly, I thought I was going to be over it, and I thought I was like, you know, as much good as I think Caitlyn Jenner's done, I thought I was over the story.
Yeah.
And then when they showed it, and I was reminded, A, of how huge Bruce Jenner was as an athlete, and B, how long this journey has been, I think you have to be really ignorant to not appreciate how much Caitlyn Jenner is impacting people's lives. Like, how many people there are out there like this who felt like, I mean, let's just keep it real, guys. The conversation about transgender people transformed in front of our eyes, no pun intended, over the last few months.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Like a year ago, people could just be like, oh, tranny this, tranny that. That's not appropriate anymore. You shouldn't say that anymore. And now people know you shouldn't say that anymore. Mm-hmm. That whole thing is because of this person. So even though we all have an inclination to be like, oh, it's too much, or I don't like the Kardashians, the Caitlyn Jenner thing really is bigger than that. So I give the ESPYs credit. I mean, at first, I was like, oh, are they rushing this to try to capitalize? Yes, they got the biggest rating they've ever gotten. Okay, it was a huge rating to have Caitlyn Jenner on it. But the actual work that she's doing to impact people's lives who are going through the same thing, I think you cannot question that there's no better person to give an award to and have an opportunity to speak.
And I would also challenge everyone who wants to be accepted for their differences who would then jump to criticize someone else who's going through being accepted for their own, right? To, you know, take a moment and pay a little respect, right? Because everyone has something that they're dealing with, whether it's race, whether it's religion, whether it's culture, whether it's sexual.
Just wanting to be different.
Just wanting to be different.
And everyone's like, oh, that doesn't show that much bravery. You know why you think that? You don't think it's that big a deal? This is so bugged out? Because she's already changed the world. I mean, I know it sounds crazy. The reason you're like, it's not that big a deal. He just wanted to become a woman. That's not that big a deal? 2 years ago, it would have been a big deal. It's because of her.
We lived through it up here.
Yeah. Exactly.
We lived through it. We stood in that flame in front of all y'all with our brother who was going through something. We stood in it and we took the beating from all of y'all. And everybody accused me, oh, you're just doing that to him because you want ratings. No, I'm doing that to support somebody that I love who is getting embarrassed by people that he thought cared about him.
Can you imagine how much less of a story that would be post Caitlyn Jenner than before? Things have changed, man. Got to give credit where credit's due.